So you guys know that I'm super interested in learning about the moisture barrier. Recently, I have been healing and strengthening my own moisture barrier, so a lot of my research has led me down different little rabbit holes when it comes to moisture barrier care. And one of these concepts I have heard about for years and years, but I was really resistant to trying it until recently. I have incorporated this into my routine with pretty good results, and I'm ready to share those with you guys today. I'm actually pretty embarrassed to admit it because I feel like some people may not quite understand. I haven't been washing my face in the morning. Yuck, right? Well, give this video a big thumbs up because we're going to find out how yucky is this, who is this technique good for, and how you can incorporate it into your own routine if you choose. So before we go any further, I'm just going to mention my philosophy in skincare is your mileage may vary. What works for me may not work for you. And you know, the only consistent thing in skincare that you can really count on is the fact that everybody is different. You know, everyone has different skin types, different skin concerns, and definitely different skin conditions. So keep an open mind when you learn about this technique, but just know that it may not work for you or it may work brilliantly for you. I'm going to try and give you as much information as possible so you can make that decision for yourself. Okay, so you may be wondering, am I just waking up in the morning and starting to slap on skincare layers and makeup? No, that's pretty gross actually. I definitely am rinsing my face with water. I am still cleansing my face, but I am no longer using a cleanser. So no soap, no cleanser in the morning. Now you definitely want to think about cleansing as one of the most stripping parts of your routine. You know, it's one of the harshest products that we do use in a skincare routine, bar chemical exfoliation, if you think about it. Because cleansers really are designed to get into the skin and wash away all of the dirt and grime very effectively, right? Which means we can be washing away some of the good stuff that's present on our skin, and we can end up stripping moisture out of our skin. Now you may be wondering as I'm saying this, but I use a low pH cleanser, right? Well, that's exactly what I used to think for years and years too. You know, if you've seen the low pH light, then you don't have to worry about your cleanser stripping your skin so much. Well, let me tell you, if you have sensitive skin, dry skin, dehydrated skin, even a low pH cleanser that is at the pH that's ideal for your skin, you may still be stripping out moisture out of your skin. You may unknowingly be doing that. Okay, so you may be wondering, what about acne, right? Do you break out more by not washing your face? And isn't it kind of unhygienic? Don't you feel sort of dirty for not washing your face? Okay, well, that's a big topic to unfold. Number one is dirt, right? Dirty. Dirt does not equal acne, right? We kind of already know that acne is caused by bacteria, it's caused by dead skin cells and sebum on the face. It's not really caused by dirt. Another kind of thing that I want to pose to you about dirt is when you wash your face at night and then you go to bed and you wake up in the morning, how dirty, you know, how much dirt do you think is truly present on your face in that amount of time? Probably not a lot, right? You know, during the day when we leave our house, we go to work, we touch a lot of unknown surfaces, we expose ourselves to pollution, we may touch a bunch of things, get a bunch of dirt and bacteria on our hands, and then touch our face before we can wash our hands. That's when our face gets dirty, is during the day, and that's why you definitely still want to be doing a double cleanse at night. Even if you're not wearing makeup or sunscreen, you definitely want to do at least one really good cleanse once a day. However, we really don't need to do that deep of a clean in the morning, especially if it's going to strip moisture out of our skin. Now you may be wondering, well, I'm really oily in the morning. Sometimes I feel like I have a film on my face, like my skincare layers didn't sink into my skin properly. What do you do about that? Well, definitely, you know, when you have a film on your face and just splashing water onto it, you're going to be at the sink splashing water on your face for like 20 minutes. Trust me, I've actually been there during this experiment, you know, period. I did find that there were some days where I did feel a little bit more oily or a little bit more filmy, and the water just wasn't quite cutting it. In those instances, I would definitely recommend checking into using a micellar water or even a cleansing toner. You know, you can just use that all over your face with a cotton pad and then rinse with water. And that kind of gives you a head start on breaking down the sebum and the film. On the days where I felt really just oily, I usually am only oily in my T-zone. My U-zone is always super dry and dehydrated. And this is the area of my face that I really like to baby anyways. And this is the area I'd like to see the most improvement of with not using a cleanser. So all I did was swipe my T-zone with my cellular water, and it actually broke down the oil very effectively. Another technique that you can use if you were going to opt to not use cleanser but still get a good clean in the morning with water is use a washcloth or konjac sponge. Now, you don't want to go too harsh on your skin. The goal isn't physical exfoliation here. The goal is just to kind of give the water a little bit of help in breaking down any type of thicker layer of oil or even skincare layers that were unabsorbed during the night. Just a little bit of a head start to break those down. Okay, so what are the results of this experiment? This is what we really want to know, right? Well, my skin is dehydrated, as I've told you guys many times before. So I have a very poor oil-water balance on my skin to begin with. I also have been going through a little bit of a period of sensitive skin because I did use a little bit too much chemical exfoliation about a month ago, and my moisture barrier just went into like panic mode, and it was pretty weakened. So right now I'm trying to heal that sensitive skin, and I'm trying to strengthen that moisture barrier. So the very first thing that I noticed in this experiment on day one, when I washed my face, rinsed it all good with water, and I went to go for my towel, I realized that that feeling that I always get right after I wash my face wasn't there. And I think you guys might be familiar with this feeling. After you have water on your face and you go to reach for your towel and you start to dry off, it's like your skin is like shriveling. It's drying up and you cannot wait to get your first skincare layer on. It's like, quick, hurry, get something on the face quickly. Do you know that feeling? Well, the funny thing is, the very first morning that I did this and I reached for my towel and I'm drying my face off, all of a sudden I realized my skin felt good. It didn't feel thirsty AF. It didn't feel parched. It didn't feel like a prune that was just wrinkling up. And I didn't feel like, you know, rushing for my toner right away. It was really weird to not feel that sensation, but it felt so good. So the second thing that I noticed when I did this was that right before I started this experiment, I noticed that I was getting some acne on my jaw. I was getting one spot here and two spots right here on my chin. Now, these were spots that started before I stopped using cleanser, so that wasn't why the acne was coming through. But those are the spots that were like underneath the skin. You can't see them when you look at your face, but you can feel them with your finger. You can feel them pushing up. Whenever I get that kind of sensation going on, I know that's going to be a huge pimple, right? It's probably going to be a really big pimple that's blind. You're not going to be able to pop it or anything. It's just going to be really inflamed, huge, swollen, and it's going to stay around for a long time. I'm like, oh, great. You know, you can feel them under the skin. And you're just like, oh no. So knowing that, going through, after about 3 days, I realized that those pimples never really did anything. You know what I mean? They didn't really pop up. They never got bigger. They never swelled up. They never got red. They never came to a head. Nothing happened. They were just there for a little bit, just underneath the skin, and then they disappeared. This was really strange to me because it's almost like not washing with cleanser calmed my skin's like desire to break out. Because my skin has been so sensitive, it's been wanting to break out a lot more easily because the moisture barrier is just not protecting the way it's supposed to. It's not functioning healthily. So I have been noticing more breakouts before I started doing this experiment. Now that I've been doing this experiment of not washing my face, my acne is less angry. It doesn't come up as red, it doesn't come up as swollen, and it tends to heal itself in just a few days. The third thing I noticed, I don't have to use as many products in the morning. Because I have a dehydrated skin and I do have that poor oil-water balance on my skin, I really have to layer on a lot of hydration and then lock in all of those layers of hydration with a lot of moisture to kind of keep the hydration hugged into my skin. When you have dehydrated skin, you tend to suffer from moisture loss throughout the day, which is basically where the water that should be staying healthily in your skin is actually starting to escape through your skin. skin throughout the day. So really the best way to defend against that is to put a lot of layers on. So I do find that I often will be doing a 8 to 10 step routine in the morning just to make sure that my skin feels comfortable throughout the day. However, when I stopped using my cleanser, I noticed that I just wasn't putting on as many layers of toner. I wasn't going for 2 steps of serum. I just didn't feel like I needed as much, and I actually found out that I was editing my routine naturally down to about 5 steps in the morning, and it definitely saved a little bit of time too. And the fourth and final thing that I noticed through this experiment was that my skin didn't die. You know, I was really hesitant to try this, and I've known about this theory for years, and I never even wanted to entertain the idea of trying it because I was like, that's disgusting. I'm an oily person. I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna have acne all over my face. And just having that compromised moisture barrier and the sensitive skin really pushed me to just give it a try, right? Kind of like being in a desperate state gave me the ability to just try it. And I'm really glad that I did because my skin didn't die. In fact, I think my skin healed itself a little bit faster, to be honest with you. And I didn't break out into a million zits. My blackheads didn't get worse. I didn't get a million clogged pores. I really thought my clogged pores were gonna get worse. I actually think they got a little bit better. You know, nothing terrible happened. My skin always felt comfortable. I didn't feel like I had a film on my face at all, especially when I learned that I could use my cellular water or a washcloth. That really helped me on days where I felt like I just needed a little bit more. So all in all, you know, I only set this challenge to go for a week because I wasn't sure if I could handle it. I thought I would be itching to wash my face on day 8, right? But you know what? Once day 8 came around, I was like, I don't want to stop. So I actually haven't been washing with cleanser for a while now, and I really am enjoying it. But as I said, your mileage may vary. So I definitely do encourage you to try this out in an experimentation phase. Maybe give yourself 3 to 4 days or a week to try it and see how your skin responds to it. I'm not necessarily saying that this is the right thing that every single person should do because everybody's skin is different. But if you have dry skin, sensitive skin, dehydrated skin, or if your skin overproduces oil, I would definitely recommend that you guys check this technique out, give it a go, give it a test run, and see how it works for you. So I'm curious to know, how do you wash your face in the morning? Let me know in the comment box below. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It really means the world to me. And if you turn on notifications, you will be notified every time I upload a new skincare video. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys.